Okay. The base of cultured vegetables is cabbage. This is white cabbage, and then there's also the Napa cabbage or Chinese cabbage that you may use to make kimchi. And then the other items that are usually in the cultured vegetables are root vegetables. There's also, you can use squash and carrots, and kind of like as a sweetener to feed the beneficial bacteria because they're kind of sweet. And then again, I'm making sauerkraut. I've got it already packed in the jar right here. It's been packed really, really tight. You pack it super tight, and then you take the leftover, the green part of the cabbage, that you've washed, and you put it on the top of this super tightly packed, what you've packed in the jar. And you can see the cardamom, no, excuse me, I always get those two mixed up. This is caraway seed and juniper berry. And what I did was I soaked them in hot water, and then I added them in. I took the juniper berries, sprinkled them over the top of the cabbage, and then I added them in with a little bit of the juice from the warm water that I soaked it in. And I added it in as I began to pack it in. Another thing that I added before I finished was, this is some of the mother from the previous batch of cultured vegetables that I make. And, it's kind of like a mother where they call it the mother, but it's the culture. It has all the good probiotics in it, so it makes it produce faster. And it makes it more rich with the positive bacteria that you would have. So once you get that on there, you just put the lid on it. You let it set for 4 to 7 days, depending on the weather. If the weather's really warm, then you would let it sit, and you tighten it real tight. And you have to be careful when you open it up after 4 or 7 days, because it'll pop out because there's pressure in the thing. And you'll also see a tiny bit of, well, you can't see with this camera, but there's bubbles. You can see little bubbles in there, and those bubbles will start moving up. You'll see it, and you'll see bubbles kind of moving up. And this is the juice from the little bit of water and the culture that I added. So again, that's cabbage, and then there's other cultured vegetables that you can make, and I'm going to post the other recipes on the blog.